Hi, you guys. It's another day. It's sitting actually on my computer, and at the living room at the moment. But um, today's topic I'm going to talk about is what I've been noticing, and stuff like I've been told, when I was younger, back in my preteen age, so like 10, 11, 12, that I was, I had a gift from a friend of mine. I guess she was pretty intuitive herself, but again, another story. We're on that one. But at the time, she was a friend. We no longer talk anymore after situations, but that again, that was another story, and also over 20 years ago, and I mean it too when I say it's over 20 years ago. Anyways, um, this story basically, that I'm wanting to share, is that when I was at that age, 10, 11, 12, my friend and I, um, and stuff, we were like glue. We were, more like sisters than best friends. She even considered my mom as a second mother, and um, and she was actually raised by her grandmother, instead of her mom. But the story is not about her, but situations between her and I. Anyways, we were like, inseparable, did everything together, and her and I, due to our friendship, um, tagged a little bit into her first beginnings of, I guess you could call it witchcraft, even though I rather consider myself now more of a spiritual being on a spiritual path, and I do believe that religion is um, man made, and that the creator of all things um, is basically, you know, oh, I'm not trying to go too, they did not expect us to have religion, but be, um, through another path. But this is again not going to be talking exactly about that, but I want to get to the story. So at the time, she really did consider herself a witch, and um, little she showed me that just little basic games that you wouldn't even think about would, cause in things and bring in stuff and energy, and it can allow you to do things and participate in the spiritual world. And I grasped that very quickly. It was very natural, to where she basically told me she believed that I was a natural born witch. And I didn't really consider myself, at that time I was young, so it's like, okay, whatever, still learning things. And of course, when I'm even at this age, my mother didn't push religion on us. She would, me and my brother, I have a brother, the way, she was one of those, want us to get out in the world, experiment different religions, and pick whatever suits us. And coming from a very strict Italian family, usually was, we had a lot of, you know, um, Catholic, and believe it or not, half my Italian family is also Mormon, and on that too, but that's another topic. But anyways, um, on there, I want to get to the point. So, uh, so her and I used to get out and do things, and I think when she got a hold of the movie, at that time, um, is it, there's this movie that came out, and I can't remember the name of it right top of my head right now. But anyway, it's based. I know I'll think about it, but back at the time, the movie was about four witches, where the fourth one ends up moving and be part of the covenant, but she didn't like the way that they were going dark, and she was more light, and ends up, defeating the person, and the head of the covenant ends up in a crazy house. So anyways, I'm sure somebody's gonna know it, but I can't think of it right now. It's been a while since I've seen it, but they did make another movie on Amazon where it's about, their offsprings, their children. If you know it, please leave a comment. I'll let you know. It's like, that was what I'm thinking. Anyways, so due to this movie, it makes the comment about, in there about how is a guy named Manol, who, if God and Jesus, and the devil were fighting, Manol would be the stadium that they fight. But so she really did take that movie pretty serious, and stuff. But because of her into that stuff, she opened things to me and let me know that I did have natural gifts. And looking back at it, I see that she was kind of right. I did have some natural gifts, and still learning things, not knowing what to do, and all that stuff. And having a mother that would be like, I don't care what you do, is experiment different things and figure it out what suits you. Opens up to where even in high school I really did dab into a lot of little different things, and find out that I could really read tarot cards very well. And I just picked it up really quick. I saw one girl at school with a deck of cards doing a reading for somebody. Asked her where she bought it. She told me where. And when I had an opportunity to go there, I tried to buy one deck. My mom was like, no, on that. So by the time I was 16 and had a job and had my own money, she's like, you have your own money, you can go buy whatever you want when you want to. And so I bought my first deck of tarot on that, on there. But yeah, this friend of mine at the time really set things on my path, and I have been told by other people with gifts and stuff that I have, these gifts, and I was pretty happy, going through things and learning stuff and seeing how stuff goes. And I was very careful at first that, I did take it to a little bit of a dark side in high school, I will admit, on that. But at the same time, I was still learning myself and figuring things out and knowing what I wanted to do. So, on that. But yeah, back in these younger years, I remember her and I know I'm jumping back and forth, but at the very beginning of things and doing these little stuff, like even as small as using chalk on the sidewalk, we were doing stuff and not probably really realizing what we were bringing forth or how to close things. We were kind of a mess on that, and so we did have our own little clique of what we were doing with little chapments and songs and all sorts of little stuff. But yeah, we were kind of, doing things. But as I could see, I was the good girl, and she was kind of the rebellious one that was doing things usually I wouldn't really prefer doing, but you know how it is. You kind of go around and then they tried it, so I'm gonna try it. Yeah, experiments and stuff like that. And oh gosh, so I think that was so the first time I really got into this stuff, and I really believed a lot of the stuff she was telling me about, you know, having different gifts and doing stuff, and it really was trying to pull me more on her way of thinking. But then I realized, there's a lot of different ways, a lot of different stuff on there, and you know, and so but we have realized as we were growing up that we had two different ways of seeing the world. But I'll never forget the experience I had with her, going through the gifts and learning certain things and having that uh, that experience in life with her to help me develop into the person I am and becoming, and how to see the world from my own journey as well. But I don't even, sometimes, you do things as a kid that you don't really think people really know what you're doing, but it was kind of interesting how that one works. And I took that into older years and stuff like that with me, and realized in high school I had more of a healer's type of energy, and that was able to even answer people's questions before they even asked me. I had quite an intuitive situation, but I wasn't like, hey, I knew that you were gonna have this question, and so here's your answer. No, I just kind of said something to them in a way where they're like, I was about to ask, and you answered my question. Like, okay. So, and of course, people even ask, what happened? Why did I leave it alone? Things happen in your life where you just leave stuff alone for a while because, you know, um, you go through things in life and you're like, no, I gotta walk away, and but at the same time I realized even when I walked away I still knew things were going to happen before they happened. And I've either have a feeling through reading other people's energy, I can feel others' energies as my own, or I end up having premonitions through my dreams, and that's another way I kind of know things. And I've had even people tell me that when I say something, stay away from certain people, something's gonna happen. I can't put my finger on something, and they don't take my want to listen, and they come back and they're like, yeah, you were right, I should have listened. I don't know how you knew that something wasn't good, right, but you were right on that. And I'll tell you other stories on that another time, but this was more me opening up to you guys about some of my natural abilities. And so I also had a friend of mine that kind of let me know that it's you gotta kind of be careful, because you can open yourself to things, and that's something I did learn. You have to be careful on how you do certain stuff. And so definitely been trying to see what I can do and use my natural gifts in a way that will help people. So without trying to, do too much on my end, because let me tell you, when I do open myself up to somebody and feel their energy and their feelings and emotions, it's not, they literally feel like they're my own emotions and feelings, um, and I can literally mimic the person I'm tapping into. And so some give you an idea. I've got a neighbor next door who yelling and screaming and throwing a tantrum, and she's irate. I'm gonna act irate and throwing tantrums and stuff like that if they're open enough for me to take that in. And so I know it's weird. I can do it when people are near, and I know the world is changing and people are staying home more and doing things on YouTube, and you can do if you get enough followers, you can do lives. And it's like, even through technology and a webcam and whatever, you can sit there and listen to what people are saying and feel their energy and know what to kind of say and stuff like that. And so as time goes on, and if I get to that point, of course I'm going to figure this is for entertainment purposes only when I do these things. If I help on there, not just somebody. But if I can't get a reading on somebody, I'm going to tell them I can't get a reading on them. I'm not going to just pussyfoot and just give them some storyline just for money and stuff, because if I do get to that point, I am gonna probably have it set up that way, but I'll be fair on price. I'm not gonna be stingy like I've seen some people, but there's some people out there that got a good price range, I would say. Anyways, on there. And so yeah, this girl and I, oh my gosh, we did some crazy stuff, and basically anything she could pick up from witchcraft movies, she basically wanted to do. I felt like I was living back. I think I was her guinea pig. She was learning things, and she was teaching me at the same time on that. So it was kind of interesting, and all the little stuff that she opened my eyes to, and I was like, wow, this is interesting. This is really interesting at that time. Like I said, I was still learning so much. And hold that thought, here comes the train. It's a good thing it's going the other way, because if not, it would be blasting on my door. So anyways, I am glad that that my experience let me know that I do have gifts, and sometimes I have to learn that some of my gifts is coming from like even my great grandmother on my mother's side of the family. There are things on there. She had premonitions where she dreamed things as well, and I'm going to tell you one of her stories too, and I'll post that on another video. So on there. But yeah, this friend from like 10, 11, and 12, I mean, she wanted to do everything, like cut, have like a little bit of a slice of our finger and put it together, make blood sisters. She and I were would like go places and do all sorts of crazy things that on trying to do things to act and connect to spirits. And like I said, we were young, and boy, she even wanted to try to sneak out one time and go to like cemetery and try to do stuff. And she was one of those kids. She was breaking the rules. She would sneak out. She would do all this stuff. But at least I wasn't that. There's things I would like draw the line with her and be like, no, not me. on that. And at that time, we lived in a small town with 2 main roads. And looking back, I did go back through 30 years later, it seems like. Yeah, I could say 30 years late, a little over 30 years later, go through and drive through this town that was supposed to be a small little street, 2 main road town, and see how big it was. It was a big. It wasn't no little town anymore, and things are that used to be were not, and it's changed. It's amazing how things can change on there. But we would walk everywhere, or grab our, if we could, try to grab a bike and get around that way. But usually we were walking, and we would walk basically almost everywhere. And if it was over an X amount of time of walking, we'd use our bikes and drive, ride to different places and walk around other spots. And I remember she would also teach me certain other things, like how to kind of listen and take in messages and all that stuff. So I did learn a lot from her without using a book. I couldn't believe how much. And I don't even know how she even figured this stuff out, or how she would find these things out, because there was stuff that she definitely let me know about. And over time I just said okay, and I gasped, and she was so amazed how quick I was grasping. So I think somebody else was teaching her, and she wasn't getting it as fast as I was getting it and on some things. And I think she was kind of amazed on that, and I was pretty happy about that. I was like, okay. So yeah, and it's really kind of interesting how young you can pick up the stuff, especially if you have a natural gift to it. So on things. So I'm going to pretty much see what I can do to take these little gifts and kind of do what I can, because like I said, sometimes I can't even ignore it. It's there and I can pick things up, but I've been told I need to get back to that and just naturally not ignore it, and see to it, and that I could really do a lot. So if you want to subscribe, grow my channel so I can go live and I can really show off some of the stuff on there. And I will do some things too here, and show off a little bit of more of my abilities and on that. So I hope to hopefully get more intuitive, where I can read people's energies, because I am an empath on there, and help somebody else out and do things, not just tarot reading, but do other things that my gift can pull up and discuss, and do. Hopefully I can get it to where I can do members streams, and in those member streams I can possibly hit more on getting to know somebody, where I can let an individual know that, hey, I was able to dream about you and put this out there, and have this dream, and this is the message I got in that. So I would like to do things where I'm not just doing tarot reading, that I'm pulling in my natural empath ways. And I've been told too, I have more than just empathic ability, and I want to try to use it to help people, because I have also been told from another psychic reader that I used to see in Colorado that he's also went to college and has a degree in therapy. So he used his degree with his ability. Even told me too that I have a gift and I'm more of a healer type, and I can help people that way. So that's what I want to try to do. See how I can help others. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy the little thing about my younger years and on that and my ability. And yes, I can remember things many, many years ago, but my short-term memory sucks. I'm gonna tell you. Ask me what I had for dinner last night, I'll probably be like, I don't remember. But I could sit there and tell you stories about when I was younger. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy the little story time with me again, and we'll chat another time. Have a good night or day or whatever time zone it is for you while you're watching this. Bye.